Hello everyone, nice to meet you again. Before we start with the chapter 1, have a question for you. Don't worry, it's easy. How do you travel? You'll say, oh, it's easy by cycles, scooters, bikes, and cars. And for farther distances, airplanes, trains and buses. Right? But, do you ever wonder how people traveled thousands of years ago? And why did they travel in fact? Or say if they did not travel, then is it that they lived at the same place for their lifetime? Let's see the next chapter to get our answers. Let's get into the first question. Why did they just traveled? You'll say they were just hunters and gatherers. What's the need for them to travel at all? But you're wrong at all. Hunting and gathering were never easy stuff. Alertness, quickness, and lots of presence of mind were required for hunting. Gathering was even more difficult as it required a great knowledge of plants without even having a book. And if they didn't have it, a poisonous plant can even kill them. Okay, let's get into the proper reasons directly. So, do you think there was an infinity of plants and animals? Obviously not. So the very first reason is simple: if they had stayed at one place for a long time, they would have eaten up all the available plant and animal resources. Therefore, they would have had to go elsewhere in search of food. Okay, so do animals stay still like plants, at the same place, forever? Not really. Here is our simple second reason: animals move from place to place, either in search of smaller prey, or, in the case of deer and wild cattle, in search of grass and leaves. That is why those who hunted them had to follow their movements. Alright, this magical tree bears fruit all 12 months of the year. But unfortunately, other trees in past were not like this. Third reason: plants and trees bear fruit in different seasons. So, people may have moved from season to season in search of different kinds of plants. So, in your opinion, will this river keep flowing till the end of this world? Impossible, right? Fourth reason is that people, plants and animals need water to survive. Water is found in lakes, streams and rivers. While many rivers and lakes are perennial, with water throughout the year, others are seasonal. People living on their banks would have had to go in search of water during the dry seasons, winter and summer. She's my sister. Do you have one? Maybe yes. Just like this, people in past also had relatives, and this was another important reason for which they traveled. So, the next question that arises is that, how do we even know about these people? The answer is simple: because of archaeologists. So, now you might ask, okay, then what we know about those hunters and gatherers? Archaeologists found out a lot of tools used by hunters and gatherers. They were made up of different materials like stone, wood and bone, of which stone tools have survived best. So, let's look at some types of stone tools used by them. The first one. These are examples of the earliest stone tools. Second one. These were made several thousand years later. Third one. These were made later still. Fourth one. These were made about 10,000 years ago. Fifth one. These are natural pebbles. Now the question that arises is, what were these tools used for? Answer is a lot. Like cutting meat and bones, scrape bark from trees and hides, animal skins, chop fruit and roots. Some tools might have been used as spears and arrows for hunting. Also, they might be used to chop wood. Woods were also used for different purposes, like making huts, as firewood for fire, and making tools. There were some special stones used for some special purposes. Let's have a look. The first one. Digging the ground to collect edible roots. The second one. Stitching clothes made out of animal skin.